We've been building 20 a day in sprayer since 23, and going into model year 26, when we start building sprayers again, we're going to be building 16 a day. So obviously, some of you in the room are probably from sprayers. You're aware it affects sprayers, but it also affects welding and paint, and there's a ripple effect through the factory. So that's how we all ended up here. Eligibility on indefinite layoff. So obviously you probably all know about sub pay. But sub pay is a benefit. When you're laid off, the company pays you $150 a week. It can be higher if you have more seniority for 26 weeks. So you'll receive this benefit for 26 weeks at $150, and that's in addition to any unemployment you get through the state. Here's an example. Employee with 1 year seniority will receive a maximum of $150 plus any eligible state unemployment benefits, less taxes. And again, if there comes to any questions with any of this, we can always look at the contract and benefits book and default to that. So at the end, when you guys have questions, if there's anything I don't cover here, just let us know and we'll look it up and get back to you. Are employees eligible for state unemployment? Yes. You got to call the state. The pamphlet you got has their number, and they're coming next week. They'll be here Tuesday from 10 to 1. So the state of Iowa will be here. They'll have their mobile unit, and they'll be set up in this room for any questions you have involving state unemployment. They'll be here. They couldn't make it today. They had other obligations, but they committed to coming Tuesday. And then TAB. So TAB is a benefit that kicks in when sub is done. So you get sub for 6 months, and then after that it goes to TAB. And the calculation, so the total benefit of sub and transitional assistance benefit, which is called TAB, that's what it stands for, is 78 weeks, so a year and a half. So you'll get a sub pay of some sort, whether it's sub or TAB, for a year and a half. And so this is the calculation you do, and I know that it's your AE rate times 40 hours minus any state unemployment benefit divided by 2. So if, again, $21, this is an old example, it's a bad example, because nobody's AE rate is $21 in this factory. But in this equation, if you're getting no state unemployment, then you get the full amount. So you would get, in this example, $21 times 40 hours divided by 2. And you would get, DEERE would pay you that full amount if you're not getting unemployment. So, and if you guys have any questions on any of this or want further details, stop up at the end after the Q&A and I can break it down, and we can even look up your AE rate and see what would be for you if you'd like.
Yeah, what if you have to go get another job? Does it still pay out?
Yeah, tax in addition to that. Yeah, that's a good question. Will I receive profit sharing in December? Yes. Just because you're on indefinite layoff doesn't mean you don't get profit sharing. The hours, you wouldn't accrue any more hours, but the hours you got, you get credit for it, and you get profit sharing based off that. Healthcare, your healthcare continues for 6 months. So after that, if you want to keep our insurance, there's COBRA information. You can call the benefits center, and they'll set you up and let you know how much a month it would be. But from 6 months, for the day you get laid off, you have insurance. And this is just an example, different years of service and how much health insurance you get. Again, I kind of touched on this. You can call the John Deere Benefits Center if you're interested in keeping our insurance, and you can ask them what COBRA rate would be. What happens if I become disabled while on layoff? So if you're laid off, and you get disabled, you can use the WI benefit for 26 weeks. Do I remain eligible for the Employee Assistance Program? Yes, you do. You remain eligible for the Employee Assistance Program for the length of your recall rights. So there's 8 in-person virtual sessions for you or your household, and that continues. And then in the pamphlet we gave you, there's the number and the email, or the website of the place you could call to set those up. Recall rights, and then I'm going to go over outside labor area market. So recall rights you can see here. Essentially, if you have 2 years or under, you have 2 years of callback. If you have 3 years, you have 3 years of callback. If you have 4 years, you have 4 years of callback.
What about 2.5 years?
You would have 2.5 years. And this is the longest list. Essentially, it's the outside labor market area seniority list. And what this is, Jamie's over there, and you can sign up with her, but if you're interested in potentially going to another unit, and you sign up and put your name on that unit is not allowed to hire anybody externally until they call you. When they call you, you have a right to say, I put my name on there, but I don't want to go to Dubuque or Tacoma. But they have to call you and ask you for a job prior to hiring anybody externally because you are DEERE employees. So if you're interested in that, it says that you need to sign up within a month, but I know some people that they're called later and we put them on the list. So again, touch with Jamie after this if you're interested in signing up for the longest list. And this is just kind of overview of the longest list. Again, if you go to another factory and work and you decide you don't like the drive or the living arrangements, at any time you can say, hey, thank you for the opportunity. I've been here a month, I'm headed back. You can go back out on layoff and it doesn't change anything. The other thing is, when we go to recall you, we will call. And at that point, you can say, I don't want to go back to the Warren Works. And you can start at that unit and your seniority reset to the day you turn us down. Or you can simply say, yeah, I'm going to go back to the ones I've been waiting. And your seniority will revert back to your original seniority date. And these are the units. It's all the master agreement units of the units that you're able to sign up to through the longest list. And if you do choose to go the longest route and you move, there is a moving expense you can get spent with the company and they will pay you to move if you decide to move permanently to the location you signed up for. And there is a per diem of $25 a week if you're on the longest list. So if you're working somewhere besides the Warren Works, you receive $25 a week. Tuition reimbursement goes for 18 months after you're laid off, so you can leverage your tuition reimbursement. DEERE will reimburse you 2/3 of the tuition. So you can, if you need any help with that, it's through a line. We can get you help and set up on how to do it if you're going to go back to school during this period. Life insurance. So essentially, life insurance will last. So life insurance will not exceed 72 weeks, and it will last the amount of time you get sub pay plus a month. So, and it rounds up to the next month. So if you got laid off in the middle of the month, it would go to the end date and then a whole nother month. So it could be a little over 7 months. But right around 7 months, your life insurance will continue. And if you choose, after you're retired, you want to keep the life insurance that DEERE provides for you, you could do it at 60 cents a month for $1,000. So you would call the John Deere Benefits Center if you're interested in that. Do you retain legal services? Yes, you do. So if you're getting a will or selling a house or anything like that, you could call and DEERE will provide a lawyer for free for 18 months after you're laid off. In job assistance, there is some dealer jobs posted, so if you're interested in working at a John Deere dealer as a mechanic or sales or something like that, they are looking for a lot of people. Not as many as they were a year ago, but there's still a lot of jobs posted. So if anybody's interested in that, stop up and we can give you some information of dealers that are in the area. And then resume and interview. We work through a company. This is provided for 6 months from the date of layoff. But essentially, they'll help you with any resume writing, interview skills, or job searching you need. So if you're having troubles or trying to apply to a job somewhere else, you could call this and for free. They'll take care of you and give you advice and help you with the resume. Your last paycheck. So your last paycheck will include wages obviously earned from the previous week. You'll get paid out all your remaining PVDs at this time. And then if you want to, you can get paid out your vacation. So you have to come to us and initiate that. So if you come to us and say it'll be on that check for the following week, but if you don't, it'll pay out on your anniversary date. So it'll be whenever your anniversary date is while you're laid off, suddenly you'll get a check from DEERE. That's completely up to you. If you want to get paid out your vacation, you have that right. If you just want to wait till your seniority date, that's the way it'll fall.
I still have a week of paternity leave left. How would that get paid out?
I will have to go back to that. I don't know the answer to that question, but I will stop up afterwards so I get your name.
Gotcha.
So I can follow up with the team leader because I'm not sure that one's never came up.
All right.
And then sick days, you can elect to get paid out sick days if you want, but it doesn't happen automatically. Again, if you have any problems or have any questions about direct deposits, W-4s, garnishments, loans, child support, please contact payroll. The number's in the pamphlet, or contact LR, and we can help you out. And I verified it between sessions because it came up in the third shift session. Payroll, after you're locked out of the JDO app, when you get laid off, payroll will mail you your pay stubs for sub, and then subsequently the tab. So you'll get mailed a pay stub while you're off. If you have any uniforms, just drop them off at the normal location. And then here's all the contact information. Again, it's in the pamphlet. One other thing I want to touch on, the layoffs will start. There was 9 welders that we deviated the last time around because of their skills. They will be the first to go on the 24th, so if you're one of them, you will be laid off the 24th of March. And then the following week we'll have a group. It would be that last day of work will be the 24th of March. And then the following week we'll have a group, and then there'll probably be another group at the end of April with the rest of the people. Your team leaders will be letting you know. They're still working on the list, and you got to go by strict seniority, so they're figuring out when and the timing. But you guys will know ahead of time, and the team leaders will pass that on to you. Having said that, any questions? The question was how many were laid off? It's 119 employees. This round, we had 114 last year when the cotton and tillage schedules decreased. This year it's going to be 119 because of the sprayer reduction.
How likely is it that we're going to be called back?
I would say likely.
All of us, or just, I mean, do you think?
I mean, there's 114 beneath you know? So yeah, our hope is that everybody will be back, and hopefully it'll be soon. This downturn can't last forever. So, I don't know. If I knew that, I'd be working for Warren Buffett, and I'm happy to be here today doing this, which is not my favorite thing about the job. I have no idea. I mean, we've been in trough, or what we consider trough, for the last 2 years. It's got to come back. It does.
We do believe that we have hit the bottom. Our chairman and CEO was here on Wednesday of this week, and he said all indications appear to be that we're at the bottom. And so, what we got on our side is that dealers have low inventory levels right now, which was how we planned it, right? And so, hopefully, as things start to come back, I would say within the next year and a half, we should see some pickup in the business. But we do believe we finally hit the bottom of the trough.
And then something else is we're doing this, and there's not a resource pool, so when the sprayer, the cotton start back up at the end of the summer, I mean, there's potential, assuming we get enough orders to run 16 sprayers, there's potential we're going to need a resource pool. We've always had a resource pool, so some of you in this room may be getting called out then. There's potential for that soon.
So with the 6% that's been contributed to the 401k, I guess how long does that last, or do you need to pull it out at some point?
It'll stay in there and continue to grow until you return it. As long as you have callback rights, it'll stay in there.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So is it true that they're bringing in work from its own and taking unions? And that is true, or seniority or following?
Well, if we did bring in any other work, we'd have to call people back. But I mean, I know no plans for anything from the Tumwa. I started at that factory welding actually, and I get people call me all the time. I heard we were getting the Windrower, the Round Baylor, and I was like, if you've been to our factory, we don't have room for any of that. So, but there's a lot of rumors about that, especially at the Tumwa, but there's no plans to do that.
Again, with that 60% match on the 401k, last time I said you had to be here for like 5 years or something for that to hold. Now, does that count if you're on indefinite layoff? Like, say you have another 2 years to go and you're on indefinite for two years, does that count toward your 5 for your match?
The 401k, first of all, when you personally put in, that's your money in the 401k. Okay, so there's also a company match, obviously, to that as well. In order to be fully vested for the company match, you have to have 3 years of service credit. Okay, So service credit is obtained when you work 500 hours in the contract year, then you would get the service credit. So you have to have 3 of those in order to be fully vested for the company match. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay.
So just for clarification,
we've met
because
that.
in here, the vesting period for 401k is 3 years, so you have 3 years to vest.
Since the
Otherwise, it'll sit in the account
It'll be the 3rd year.
until they get back.
Yeah, we've met that.
Go ahead.
I mean, think about it. How many hours do you put in every year for chicken out for
Yes, exactly.
profit share, right?
Yeah. Thank you for
1,700.
that. To clarify,
If you
it's
divide
not-
that by
doesn't have to be
3,
3
it's
full
4
years, it
months.
just has to be
If
3 years in
that's
which you
about
work
500
500
hours a
hours.
month, right?
Did you have a question about that?
So I think we've met that.
So you get out 500 hours, not 3 years,
You have to have 3 years where you have 500 hours. Like
And is-
3 consecutive years with 500 hours, and now you get 3 years of seniority, your investment in company match is yours.
So where does that 500 hours start from your seniority, like when you start starting date, or is that at the beginning of the fiscal year?
It's the contract.
Okay.
I believe it's a contract. We'll verify that, but
Yeah,
I'll
'cause-
have to look at the language, but I'm quite
Yeah,
positive.
because we started in September, so I think we would have hit that 500 by now, right? So,
Yeah,
so that's been, yeah, that'd be really great to know.
I'll do the math and come up after.
Okay.
you should be close.
Because we can look at 40 hours a week, if you were supposed to, you know, you'd be over the number you get. So
Okay.
come up after close.
Be close, yeah.
Any other questions?
But
So, yeah, the time with the layoff, you said it'd be between April 24th and March 24th, right?
Yeah.
And we won't know that until we hear from our team leads.
Yeah, but it'll be in advance of that. You'll know ahead of time.
Okay.
Okay, so it isn't like they're gonna walk out on Wednesday and say, hey, Friday's your last day. That's not the way it's gonna work.
So we're getting a 30-day notice, so if we should hear, in 3 days, if it's gonna be April 24th.
Well, this is your notification for the 30 days.
Okay.
But we'll give you the specific dates coming up. The team leader will reach out to you and give you
I think they
that.
have to give you 2 weeks.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Can we stretch
This
this
is
out?
always
Can you
what to
call
do.
my wife and tell
Feel
her?
bad. That's great
told
boys.
her.
We're lucky to have you here. So, sorry this is happening. This is part of the job. So, thank you. And if you got any questions, stop up.